always a pleasure having your company on Saturday Night Live. We start with the top stories. The troubled National Insurance Fund is tonight on the spot for converting the outpatient scheme for civil servants into a fee, exposing the fund to more fraud. Now, the new fee for service implies the fund will pay service providers 1,500 shillings per visit, irrespective to the number of patients' visits. Now, previously, capitation method was used in paying for the civil servants' healthcare. In this case, a lump sum was paid for each enrolled civil servant assigned to a health facility. Well, Wilkis Tanyabwa opens our bulletin tonight.
On Thursday night, Parliament rejected the Health Committee report on the National Hospital Insurance Fund scam, instead shifting attention to the fee-for-service scheme proposed by the NHIF Caretaker Committee. Under the fee-for-service scheme, the fund is expected to pay 1,500 shillings for every visit a patient makes to a healthcare service provider, irrespective of the number of visits made. Previously, the medical scheme for civil servants was running on the capitation system, where service providers were paid 2,850 shillings per patient. The amount a facility received was based on the number of civil servants who selected the facility. It is now feared that the 4.2 billion shillings allocated for the civil servants medical scheme may not be adequate if the fee-for-service plan is applied, and worse still, that the scheme may open the door for corruption. The contracts of Clinics Healthcare Limited and Meridian Medical Center were suspended in early June. The two service providers accused of fronting ghost clinics claimed a membership of 86,000 people out of a total of 221,000 enrolled in the scheme. Now, Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli wants action taken against the Medical Services Minister for his alleged role.
Professor Nyang, the minister, did not instill any discipline or a way forward as far as management of the National Hospital Insurance Fund is concerned. It was being managed in very progressive way that it doesn't conform with the modern management techniques for such a huge fund that belongs to Kenyan workers.
But the Medical Services Minister, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, is staying put. He maintains that the public servants medical scheme rolled out under the NHIF has proved helpful in providing affordable medical services to thousands of civil servants.
In spite of the hullabaloo at the NHIF, not a single civil servant has complained about NHIF civil service scheme. I have received no letter. There's no letter at the NHIF. In fact, just this week, I got a letter from the Civil Servants Union saying that they never complained about the services that they provided.
The fate of the suspended board and CEO Richard Kerich is yet to be known following Parliament's decision to reject the report. Reporting for KTN Saturday Night, I'm Wilkis Tanyabwa.
Now, the executive now seems divided over the nullification of the appointment of county commissioners. Well, Justice and Constitutional Affairs Minister Eugene Wamalwa lauded the court ruling, saying the rule on gender parity must be observed. Even as acting head of public service Francis Kimemia announced the government has directed the Attorney General to appeal against the ruling. Now, earlier, Internal Security Permanent Secretary Mutea Iringo urged the county commissioners to stay put, adding that some sectors like security would otherwise have to compromise on competence and experience to meet the gender rule as stipulated by the Constitution.
Just as this week-long induction for county commissioners was coming to an end at the Kenya Institute of Administration in Nairobi, the High Court nullified their appointment. High Court Judge Mumbi Ngugi ruled that President Mwai Kibaki overlooked the articles on gender parity in public appointments as well as public participation in the selection process. Justice and Constitutional Affairs Minister Eugene Wamalwa and Menti South Legislator Gitobu Imanyara, both lawyers, concurred with the court decision.
Lazima pia tuweze kuheshimu the gender parity principle.
And those commissioners must go away. So we say thank you to the judiciary.
But as he closed the training, Internal Security Permanent Secretary Mutea Iringo assured the 47 commissioners that they still have jobs.
The Constitution tells you that 30%. Go to the military, go to the police, go to the prisons. These are peculiar sectors.
The PS argues that fields such as nursing would experience similar challenges. Striving to fulfill the constitutional requirements, therefore, would compromise standards.
If you try to bend so low, you get people who are not competent.
Earlier on at the same function, Acting Head of Public Service Francis Kimemia informed the commissioners that their functions will not clash with those of governors. Kimemia says the commissioners will strictly represent and execute the national government functions such as security at the county level. The Kibaki appointed commissioners include 11 women representing 23% and 36 men representing 77% of the 47 officers. The constitution stipulates that no gender should take more than 2/3 or 67% of positions of representation. Anso Mwendia, KTN Saturday Night.
Now, the Management Committee of the Party of National Unity has today recommended that Wildlife Minister Dr. Noah Wekesa be kicked out of the party for allegedly failing to attend top PNU organ meetings for the last 3 years. At the same time, PNU Management Committee has chosen Kilgoris lawmaker Gideon Konchela to be the party's acting chairman to replace the late Minister Professor George Saitoti.
A section of PNU supporters accompanied the party's management committee at the party headquarters to chart the way forward following the death of their party chairman, Professor George Saitoti. Top on the agenda was to choose Saitoti's replacement.
We have also recommended that Honorable Konchela, being the first vice chair, will also act as the chairman of Party of National Unity.
Naamini wamesema wananiamini mimi mwenyewe kuongoza chama.
The party's National Executive Council will be meeting within the next 10 days to ratify the decision. Konchela is Kilgoris MP. He also served in cabinet during President Kibaki's first term. These are some of the reasons members here believe makes Konchela a better place to replace Saitoti.
Honorable Saitoti was a Maasai. Yeah. And therefore, we would like another Maasai who is capable of leading PNU to take his position.
As Konchela won, Dr. Noah Wekesa lost his position in the party.
Honorable Wekesa, who was not coming to our meetings, and he was the first vice chairman operations. He has not been coming to our meetings for the last 3 years. So, according to our constitution, any member who doesn't come to management meeting or NEC meeting for 3 consecutive meetings is deemed to have resigned.
Dr. Wekesa was in the pioneer team that cobbled up the PNU vehicle that drove Kibaki to State House in 2007 after NAC was dogged by wrangles that threatened Kibaki's second shot at State House. PNU says it will honor the election pact the late Saitoti crafted with Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka and Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta.
That is the agenda that we are going to work. We are going to work with Uhuru very closely. We are going to work with Kalonzo also very closely until after we work with them, the 3 parties now, that is the time we shall now decide on who we are going to support as a presidential candidate.
PNU's decision to choose Konchela as acting chairman comes at a time of unexpected cabinet reshuffle, and the public will be watching to see whether President Mwai Kibaki will name Konchela into his cabinet again. Patrick Amimo, KTN, Saturday Night.
Well, Edith Kimani now joins us with more stories. Edith, take it away.
Thank you very much, Betty Keller. We've just seen the Party of National Unity sort of try to put its house in order, and the campaign trail is hot in the whole country. And Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta has promised to unite Kenyans if elected president. Uhuru, who was campaigning in Meru, further appealed for calm during the upcoming election. Kawanderi reports from Meru.
It was in Igembe North constituency in Meru County where Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta met residents of the area shortly after incidents of insecurity were reported in the area. Accompanied by members of his TNA party and other leaders affiliated to Uhuru Kenyatta, the Deputy Prime Minister reiterated that peace should reign in the country come the next elections. Uhuru said that his party, the National Alliance, was not formed to bring divisions as has been witnessed recently.
Kiwa baba yetu, ni jukumu yako kuunganisha Wakenya wote, Wameru wote, Tharaka Nithi County, Embu na Wakenya wote tukuunge mkono tukiongea sauti moja. Najua kuna wengine wanaenda huko kichochoro, wanaenda kusema hatakiwi kusimama. Juzi mimi nilizindua chama changu cha TNA. Na hapo ndipo mimi niko. Lakini sikuzundua chama ndio ilete mgawanyiko. Tunaelewana? Mimi ningependa sana tuone hivi vyama zetu yote, kama ni PNU Alliance, kama ni chama cha GNU na ndugu yangu ako hapa Mwangi Kionjuri, tuje tuungane na vyama vingine vingi katika taifa letu la Kenya.
Touching on the high insecurity that has rocked the area, with bandits believed to have come from the neighboring Isiolo County attacking residents in Meru County, the area leaders said security should be beefed up.
Watu hapa wanaitwa Nyambene. Ni watu wameishi kwa shinda kwa muda mrefu. Na serikali ambazo zimekuwa ama watu hapa wamekuwa wakiona kama watambuliwi na kama serikali liwaonyesha mgongo.
Kweli watupatie omgans, hiyo ni sawa. Kwa sababu ile shida yetu kubwa bwana Uhuru ni usalama, kama bila watu wamesema. Mnataka tushikane pamoja. Basi hiyo tupatieni muda na msikae sana, haitakuwa muda mrefu sana. Mtaona nchi kiendeshwa vizuri, ili Uhuru Kenyatta akitokea kwa wanaume wengine wajue yeye ako na watu yake nyuma yake na wanaongea sauti moja. Ile bunge imejaa wazee. Na mimi nawapea vijana wenzangu changamoto, mjitupe uwanjani.
Uhuru and his team are expected to wind up the Meru tour today.
Political parties have been challenged to agitate for direct election to the East African Legislative Assembly. Now, currently, members of the regional party are nominated by political parties, and then those names are then forwarded to the respective national assemblies of the 5 member states for approval.
Leaders from various political parties gathered in the city to be sensitized on the role of political parties in the East Africa integration process.
The only time that the treaty anticipates political parties playing a role is when they are nominating EALA members.
I strongly believe that the way to strengthen regional cooperation, particularly political federation, is to ensure strong and viable political parties.
Implementation of the customs union has been in place since 2005. In 2010, East Africa partner states adopted the common market and are currently negotiating on the monetary union. This process's ultimate goal will be the formation of a political federation.
It is only political parties with national and federal outlook that will be able to effectively participate in helping achieve EAC integration process.
Even if you look at the protocols of good governance, for example, again, political parties are not there. No single party in Kenya has had within their manifesto a chapter on integration. That when we form government, this is what we are going to do about integration.
Party leaders were urged to consider changing the way in which members to the East Africa Legislative Assembly are chosen.
Agitate. That's what the European Union did. Agitate for direct elections of members of EALA. Except for those who read papers.
Political parties were challenged to play an active role in campaigning for a political federation and sensitizing supporters on the advantages of membership to a large economic and political bloc.
Political parties are obliged to train and equip their supporters to act as polling agents who keep an eye on the conduct of elections on behalf of their candidates and their parties and ensure that elections are conducted in a transparent, fair, and free manner.
Suspicions among member states on the political federation and the perceived dominance of Kenya over other states in the region, especially on the economic front, has acted as a speed governor to delay a political federation that was expected to be in place by 2010. Patrick Amimo, KTN, Saturday Night.
When we first broke the story, there was a lot of chit-chat about it, and now the celebrated 3,000 meters steeplechase champion Ezekiel Kemboi has broken his silence over the incident where he was accused of stabbing a woman in Eldoret. Speaking in the presence of his lawyer, Philip Murgo, Kemboi gave his account of what happened Wednesday evening. At the same time, he argued that his rights were violated, saying that he was charged in court before police conducted comprehensive investigations.
32-year-old Olympic champion Ezekiel Kemboi, who's facing assault charges for allegedly stabbing a woman in Eldoret, has finally broken his silence.
Almost going to my car, there's a lady who came. She's an acquaintance. We've never met, we've never seen the town. And she asked me, Kemboi, please, could you drop me home? I told her, no, you can just take a taxi. And she said, no, she won't build taxi safe with a taxi. She was a bit drunk. And then I offered her a lift. I asked her where she place. She told me West Indies. That's an estate in Eldoret. So on the way, she told me she wanted to buy chips at a restaurant called Fast Food. When she went, some two guys came to me.
She went, where did she go?
To the restaurant.
Okay.
Some two guys came, oh, Kemboi, habari bwana, ukienda? I told them, no, bado. Nafanya mazoezi ndio nikienda, naenda one way. And then they say, okay, boy, pongezi enda na utuwakilisha mzuri na udani saidi tena. I tell them, asante muniombe. So the lady came back after like 30 seconds with no food. I asked her, wapi chips yako? She told me, I'm okay. I've changed my mind. Sitakula. Nikikula napikenda tapika kwa sababu nimelewa. So the two guys went straight to another red parked car in front of me.
It was after they arrived at the lady's house that the gentlemen who were in the red car that was allegedly following them came out of the car and attacked him.
Just go and knock the gate. And then I looked at her and my door was open. So I came out to answer a just call, short call. So he came with a knife. So yeah, because I think I knew him, he was aiming at hapa, alikuwa ananiaim hapa kwa shingo. So nikaona I sense danger. I'm a police officer, I'm trained. Nikaona hii kisu nanipata. So I had to clap the lady because now I've known all of them were in plan. Nikachukua msichana na nika skuma. So the knife ilikuwa imeshakuja. So the lady was drunk. So nikamsukuma na akaanguka the knife quarter.
The complete opposite of what his accuser, Jerry, alleges happened.
He came back and told me, today you'll know who I am, and then he stabbed me.
Kemboi, who is a police officer with the Presidential Escort Unit, termed the incident as a kidnap attempt. He now says that after the incident, he drove to the Eldoret police station and reported the incident at midnight. Kemboi was flanked by his lawyer Philip Murgo, who claimed that the incident might have resulted from rivalry between police officers.
I think this in itself may be one of the problems. He was in a police station amongst his colleagues and they were saying, ulikuwa unafikiri umetuacha hapa.
It is here at the Nyayo National Stadium that last Saturday, Ezekiel Kemboi qualified to participate in the 3,000 meter steeplechase during the Olympic Games. But one of the hurdles that Kemboi now faces is whether he will actually be able to travel with Team Kenya, as the United Kingdom is known to have stringent rules against prominent visitors seeking entry into the country that are facing criminal charges. Ezekiel Kemboi has won over 30 medals. At the time of the incident, Kemboi was in Eldoret after he requested for time out of camp where Team Kenya has been since Monday. Kemboi announced he will be going for gold at the 2012 Olympic Games in London. His case is set for hearing in September. This will be his last race on the track as he intends to shift to marathon. Sophia Wanuna, KTN, Saturday Night Live.
Right, Ezekiel Kimboi has given us his side of the story. Njeri Otieno has given us her version. We wait for the courts to decide which story is true. Elsewhere, the Kisii Council of Elders has signed a declaration to end female genital mutilation in the community. Minister for Gender and Children's Affairs, Dr. Naomi Shaban, lauded the move, but also noted that over 96% of the community's families still practice the outlawed practice.
Decades of a campaign to discourage circumcision of girls and a law passed last year to criminalize the practice has done little to protect girls in Kisii. At least 9 out of every 10 of these girls will get the cut just before adolescence. It is a cultural practice aimed at taming promiscuity, but one that brings with it serious medical complications.
They have now been proven medically that they don't hold. They have no benefit at all. Instead, they cause more complications.
In a speech read on her behalf, Gender and Children's Affairs Minister Naomi Shaban warned members of this community that they will face the law if found practicing FGM. The local administration vowed to enforce the Anti-FGM Act.
Anyone found violating this law will be fined a minimum of 200,000 and imprisonment for a minimum of 3 years and even lifetime imprisonment if a person dies in the process of being cut.
Wale wamama wamekuja hapa na visu, ni vizuri wamedeclare kuwa wamewacha. Kwa sababu kesho nikisikia iko mtu ambaye bado anaenda kupasha tohara, tutamkamata apelekwe kotini, ahukumiwe kwa sababu anadhuru afya ya watoto wetu na pia anawanyima haki zao.
United Nations Population Fund Country Director Dr. Alexander Lin says the international body supports the newly signed declaration.
The Council of Elders in communities play a key role in issues regarding FGMC, as they are the custodians of culture.
Some communities that are still practicing FGM in Kenya include Kuria, Somali, Meru, Kalenjin, among others. Ansui Mwendia, KTN Saturday Night.
Well, we're just about to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, we have a special feature on careers. And this evening, the focus is on the teaching profession. Stay tuned. It might be one of your former teachers.
Insurance, investment management, property investment, and financial advisory. UAP, better, simple life.
Hi, I'm Ivy. I'm 14 years old and I'm in Form 1. I love playing basketball. I want to be a pediatrician. The reason why I want to be a pediatrician is because I love helping children. BIC is my choice because I need it to write my future.
Think big, write big. The name of your
the deodorant Invisible for black and white. No white deodorant stains on black. And for the first time, no yellow stains on white. Black stays black, white stays white, and you stay 48 hours protected. New Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea. 100 years of skincare for life. To win, visit www.niveainvisible.co.ke.
The best things come from nature. That's why I trust nature to take care of me, though germs can get in the way. That's why I love the gentle care and goodness that nature provides. New Dettol Natural with Dettol's trusted protection plus calendula and chamomile extracts gives me naturally healthy looking skin. Nature's goodness with trusted Dettol protection. New Dettol Natural. Endorsed by the Kenyan Medical Association. Dettol, be 100% sure.
What's your secret? There's no secret.
But it's no longer a secret. Zoya Sugar, sweetening Kenya since 1978.
In John's life, action runs non-stop. Now I can't be with him all the time, 24 hours a day. That's why I've given him Dettol Soap's non-stop protection, which gives him 24 hours protection from germs. In the morning when he faces germs, afternoon when he's up to mischief, playing in the evening. Non-stop protection keeps going on and on.
Indeed, Dettol Soap's non-stop protection formula has the power of Dettol, which gives non-stop protection from germs for 24 hours.
All day and all night.
Mother's weapon for non-stop protection. Dettol, be 100% sure.
And now, introducing another one. Triple distilled Crescent Vodka, now available from the home of quality. Truly Kenyan.
That's right. Yeah, I wanna see it.
Milk.
Years now, Old Mutual has helped people invest to secure their future. With this experience comes much wisdom.
As Kenya continues to develop at the county level, you are more and more interested in the stories and issues that touch on your county. That's why the County Weekly is committed to giving you more of the facts you care about. Facts about your county, your stories, your issues, your county. County Weekly. It's new, it's fresh, it's relevant. Get your copy today.
Welcome back to KTN Saturday Night, and I hand you back to Betty Kialo to take you through the rest of the program.
Thank you so much, Edith. Now, tenants of Eldoret's Wareng County Council houses have been forcefully evicted from their houses following a directive by the council. And in Kisii, a strange disease has got dairy farmers worried. For this and more stories, here's KTN's Joy Doreen Bira with the news from the counties.
Residents in Kilimani Estate in Eldoret West are to spend the night in the cold after they were forcefully evicted by the Wareng County Council officers. The County Council says it ordered the tenants out to pave way for renovation. However, the tenants allege they were not given adequate eviction notice since they only received letters telling them to leave the council houses on the evening of Friday, June 29th.
Ati walituletea tarehe 15 na walileta jana jioni. Kweli kusema ukweli, hata nilienda nikapiga report polisi, wakanipatia obi, wakanirusha chini, tunakuzikuta saa moja. Sasa na unaona kweli wamekuja saa hizi asubuhi mapema sana. Angalia watoto wetu wanakunywa chai nje. Kweli kusema ukweli, nasema tutoke tuende wapi?
Follow Tok Tok Town. Business came to a standstill when a section of women took to the streets, protesting the defilement of children in the town and laxity to take action despite case reports. This after a 9-year-old girl at a local primary school was allegedly defiled by a boda operator, and an 11-year-old boy reported to have been sexually abused by a middle-aged man in the same town. The minors have since fled the area in search of refuge. In Western Province, a new viral disease, cassava brown streak, is forcing farmers to uproot and bury the crop to stop its spread. Cassava brown streak disease, unlike cassava mosaic disease, attacks cassava tubers, making them rot, thus unfit for human consumption. Busia County and other 5 counties have been affected, giving a gloomy picture of food security in Western region whose population is soaring. Meanwhile, in Masaba South, residents are puzzled by a strange disease claiming their cattle. The disease symptoms include swelling of cow legs, bleeding and wounds. Residents say the disease is affecting the livelihood of herders. For a village highly dependent on livestock, 42 households affected is a threat to their source of income. Joy Doreen Bira, KTN, Saturday Night Live.
Now, it often starts with a little patch, and before one knows it, the patch spreads to the rest of the body, calling attention to the individual. Vitiligo affects millions of people all over the world, many of whom will try one remedy after the other in search of a cure. It is a painless condition, but as persons who have lived with it for years explain, the hardest part is normally dealing with the stares. Tonight, KTN's Healthy You delves into the condition that is vitiligo.
His makeup is his armor, a shield against a world that judges everyone by their appearance. James Laban Otieno never leaves the house without it, not on days when he has lessons to teach at the local school, but his hands give him away. Laban has vitiligo.
It was just a small or chalky white patch on the lips. So just like, it usually occurs to these are friends who take the liquor. There was an increase in the number of patches, and I visited their district hospital where they told me the condition is known as vitiligo.
When Laban learned that there was no definite treatment to ensure the white patches went away, he sought to continue with his life and teaching career. He found that while his little charges were openly curious,
They were not scared at all with the condition, but some would be curious enough to ask you, teacher, what happened with your hand? Did you get burnt or something? And some would even want to just come and feel the touch of that kind of skin.
They were also accepting of the disease and the white patches that came with it. It was outside the school, among adults, where Laban had to deal with the stares and the whispers about a condition that plagued his every waking moment, a shadow that would not leave him despite every treatment he attempted.
Back from the village, we had this myth: was he or she cursed, or did she or he step on the water that was used to bathe the twins?
It is estimated that 0.5 to 1% of the world's population suffers vitiligo. Vitiligo is a condition where one suffers the loss of the brown color pigment in areas of the skin, resulting in irregular patches. Half the people who have vitiligo develop it before the age of 20. Most develop it before their 40th birthday. It affects both men and women of all races, and while its exact cause is unknown, vitiligo is thought to be caused by an autoimmune disorder. It appears to occur when immune cells destroy the cells that produce brown pigment.
There's a 20% chance that if somebody in your family has had vitiligo, not necessarily a parent, but anybody in your family, extended relatives, then one can get vitiligo.
When the telltale patches appeared on Washuka's face, she had difficulty accepting the diagnosis.
Of course, women consider blemishes as something that works against them. So I wasn't finding it funny, especially when the white spot started spreading.
She tried every treatment in the book. Medical practitioners often prescribe topical creams or phototherapy treatment to trigger the production of melanin. A section of patients have resorted to herbal remedies, while others have taken more drastic measures. Singer Michael Jackson is said to have suffered the disease. He is reported to have chosen to have the rest of his skin depigmented, but what works for one patient cannot be guaranteed to work for another.
There is a time I'd sought for treatment from America. I purchased some medicine from there, costing 30,000, but it didn't work for me.
Persons who suffer vitiligo are often advised to take special precautions to shield themselves from the sun. And while vitiligo is painless, the social impact may be the hardest part to bear.
People stare, and it's one of those things that lower your self-esteem, lower what you think about yourself, and has a potential to lead to depression if you let it.
And so they deal with it the way they know best. Some learning to face the world boldly, while others use makeup to shield themselves from the stares. In time, the telltale patches stop spreading. The lucky few may eventually begin to regain normal skin pigmentation, but those who don't cling to the hope that each year brings them closer to a medical breakthrough.
We want to bring the resources together so that we might channel it towards that. Finding the cure, doing the research.
Our pigments are not the same. They are Europeans, they are Asians, they are black people. We are all given different skin pigments, so we deal with it.
They carry on with life as best they can. Reporting for Healthy You, I'm Wilkis Tanyabwa.
Very important, informative piece there by KTN's Wilkis Tanyabwa. And of course, Health You comes to you every Saturday on KTN Saturday Night Live. But now Edith Kimani is back with something to do with careers. Edith, take it away.
Thank you very much, Betty. Before we get to careers, let's have a look at the feature of the day. And people who live with disabilities often face fear and even discrimination owing to people's lack of understanding for their challenges. KTN's Malaki Villa spent a day with Robert Gesanda and brings us his story.
It's a song that took many by storm. Reminding us of the place persons with disabilities have amongst us. This has been a group of people that has been stigmatized for the longest time now, with many overlooking their strength, majoring on their weaknesses. It's with no doubt that this faction in our midst is endowed with many blessings and potency. Robert Gesanda is a person living with disability. Born 24 years ago, Robert was a well-formed baby with all his limbs, until when he was 5 years old when he was involved in a road accident, and he tells us his story.
I was involved in a road accident when I was 5 years. Yeah. Then I was taken to a hospital. It took me around 2 years to get well.
After losing both his arms and one leg, Robert's life took a different twist. His lifestyle had to change for good. In order to give him a better future, his parents made the painful decision of sending him to special schools for persons with disabilities, both for his primary and secondary school education.
It has been somehow challenging because I handled both limbs, then all of a sudden something just happened. But I have accepted myself the way I am because nothing can be done.
Through hard work and dedication, he was able to triumph over his disability. Thanks to the life he was exposed to when he was in school, he set goals for himself. That saw him get admitted to a local university.
When I was in high school, I was in a school where it was a special school. We had different people. Some were in a wheelchair, others didn't have both hands and legs. Yeah, they used to be allowed to write such, so I was encouraged by them.
His teachers and friends attest to the fact that he is a hard-working person who goes for what he wants.
He has proven to us that he has hidden talents apart from the physical ones. He is a student with a very strong will, willing to achieve that which others cannot achieve.
It's a blessing, seriously, to be around someone of his sort. It's not every other day when you'll find somebody who has that will, that drive, and see him being amongst your close friends, and he's always there around you. I'd say again, he really motivates, especially on my side. He really stars me out.
The lecturers too have been of great help to him. As a result, he has been performing well in class, making learning easier for him.
The lecturers, us as lecturers, have given him some special attention such that he's left behind in terms of him not catching up with the others. We create some special time so that we try to get him up together with the other students.
In class, he may be needing some assistance, but he's not the kind that will come, hey, come do this. He tries fast. It's something that I've observed a couple of times.
In the computer lab, Robert does his research with ease, just like other students. And by glancing at him, one wouldn't notice that he is using his leg to do the typing. He says he can do everything by himself except laundry.
I can feed myself using the leg, wear, make my own bed, bathe. All the personal hygiene I can do on myself.
And though he's a social being who enjoys spending time with his friends, he says that interacting with the opposite sex is somewhat difficult for him.
I find it hard. Maybe I'm in a wheelchair and maybe the guard is okay, yeah? Sometimes it's very hard to talk such issues.
People with disabilities have a place in the society, and according to the new constitution that was adopted in August 2010, Article 27 prohibits discrimination on the grounds of health status and disability. Article 43 obliges the state to fulfill citizens' social and economic rights. There is also the 2003 People with Disabilities Act. Some of the practices that can upgrade the welfare of these persons include holding awareness campaigns, making school buildings accessible for people with disabilities, training teachers and school leaders in disability awareness, and promoting the inclusion of trained people with disabilities in all offices, among others.
Wow, Robert, he is a phenomenal person. He is a normal student, and them that said that disability is not inability were not wrong at all. I have spent my day with Robert, and I have seen that he does everything by himself. I mean, he writes, he eats by himself, he makes his own bed every single morning. He is a normal person. In class, he's excellent and even does better than his other friends, his classmates. He is a phenomenal person. I mean, disability truly is not inability. For KTN, I am Madaki Mila.
Now to our special feature this week, and that is careers. And almost everyone, actually no, everyone has memories, either good or bad, of the one person who taught them how to read and write, other than their parent or guardian. Since time immemorial, teachers have held a key position in society. Now, in some communities, they're consulted in discipline cases and at times to settle disputes, but they are simply just normal professionals. One thing that stands out, however, is that they give themselves to a profession that has mentored the movers and shakers of the world. Today, in our ongoing series on careers, KTN's Masikandie takes us to the world of one teacher, Christine Kurui from KU South.
The pen has different uses to different people in different professions. Today we visit Elgeyo Marakwet County, where the pen stands out, and not just any other pen but the red pen. Meet the teacher.
My name is Madam Christine Kurui. I come from Kapkoi village. It's about 5 kilometers away from the school. I wake up very early in the morning at around 5, and then I prepare myself. Then I start my journey at around 7. I come to school. Maybe I trek sometimes I do come by vehicles. They are available. Sometimes they are not available because of the muddy road.
8 in the morning at AIC Biwot Primary School in KU, Class 7 teacher Christine has been in the teaching service for 27 years, molding the lives of young boys and girls. Here, being a teacher is a very noble task.
They still respect when they get you on the way. Of course, like me here, they always give me a lift through their motorbikes, sometimes through their vehicles.
Today, she is teaching English.
Thank you, madam. And how are you, madam? Thank you, madam.
The future of tens of children in her hands. Her red pen is what the uniform is to these children, her identity on their books, something they know too well, with many looking forward to at least a tick on their pages.
This red pen does a lot of work. It marks, it corrects children's work. Tells the child, this is where you've gone wrong, this is where you've gone right. And without this red pen, if you mark with another pen, then the child will not like it. It will not embrace your work that you've done. So this red pen is very important to teachers.
Being a teacher is rewarding, she tells us, amid the tough work of shaping the lives of these young ones.
Because nowadays there is no cane, you cannot discipline somebody's child. If you discipline, you will be chained. So you find even the children are becoming more crooks in class.
She is also a role model to many here, like Jessica, who wants to hold a red pen at a point of authority and become a teacher in the future. She has had a few not so good memories being on the receiving end other than the usual point of control.
As I went to receive my certificates, I was of course late. I had attended classes first. And then I felt very embarrassed when I met the pupils. They were telling me, madam, you've been called several times. You are not there. So as I read the that certificate was been awarded to me, and then I picked that one. So as they saw me, they called the theaters, and then they really embarrassed me. They said, "Madam, why are you late?"
The staff room, a teacher's only hub, the red pen is prominent here. Discussions and debate take center stage. Christine, like her colleagues, given an opportunity to tread professions.
I want to change it. I'll still remain a teacher until I go for retire.
So, amid the challenges, Christine tells us she will continue to brave the cold morning. The thought of shaping children for a brighter tomorrow keeps her going, and I leave her to tend to her other duties of the day. I remember that each one of us has fond memories of our childhood years at the hands of numerous teachers of differing backgrounds, each of them leaving a mark on our character and personalities. Reporting for KTN in the county of Elgeyo Marakwet, I'm Masi Kandie.
Thank you very much, Masi Kandie, for taking us back to the people who really do shape the way our lives might turn out to be. We take a short commercial break. When we come back, we bring you sporting action.
You know, in Kenya, politics is about ethnicity, it is about regions. When a member of parliament dies, normally the family will pick either a relative or the son or a daughter, isn't it? That has been the trend. Similarly, Honorable Saitoti was a Maasai. And therefore, we would like another Maasai who is capable of leading PNU to take.
That may be good enough for these germs, but germs are getting tougher. You need advanced protection. Lifebuoy Advanced Lifebuoy gives protection against 10 infection-causing germs. 10 infection-causing germs. 1 advanced protection. Lifebuoy.
This year, it's time to go big. Enjoy unbelievable discounts on home furniture, furnishings and decor. Get your dream bathroom at rock bottom prices or even transform your office with big bargains. There's only one sale, the big annual sale at the Talent Carpet Center.
Years now, Old Mutual has helped people invest to secure their future. With this experience comes much wisdom. Wisdom to enable you to do great things.
Okay, me personally naweza sema ni makosa ya couples wote wawili, sababu wote ndio wana engage into the sexual activity itself. So mimi nasema whatever the outcome, wote wawili wanafaa take responsibility of kenye inaweza fanyika.
Both, because the chick should tell the guy they should use a condom, and if they didn't use the condom, the guy should remind the chick to take some pills.
I think inafaa ikuwe shida ya boy kwa sababu hafai kukubali dem wakiwa na have sex bila condom, kwa sababu anaweza get ball na anaweza kuwa hana da kuresume to so inafaa kuwa issue ya boy hiyo story.
Herbal Betasil medicated lozenges. Fast, effective, and soothing action for sore throats.
A sore throat can be so uncomfortable and just makes you miserable, making swallowing painful, talking a bother, and even singing stressful. When you have a sore throat, take it easy. Ensure you take plenty of fluids, and remember, always, when symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Now introducing 2 new Betasil flavors, Betasil Menthol and Betasil Peppermint.
The Kabarak University Half Marathon will be held on 30th June 2012 in Mogotio town. The race begins from 6 a.m. at the Equator and finishes at the Kabarak University grounds. Registration is 300 shillings for the 21-kilometer half marathon, 1,000 shillings for the 5-kilometer corporate race, and 100 shillings for the children's race. You can register at all transnational bank branches, Mobile World offices, and CAS offices North Rift. Registration closes on 25th June. There are great cash prizes and heifers to be won. Proceeds from the marathon will help support Ngata Baby Care for abandoned children. Kabarak University, world-class education in biblical perspective.
Old Mutual has helped people invest to secure their future. With this experience comes much wisdom. Wisdom to enable you to do great things.
As Kenya continues to develop at the county level, you are more and more interested in the stories and issues that touch on your county. That's why the County Weekly is committed to giving you more of the facts you care about. Facts about your county, your stories, your issues, your county. County Weekly. It's new, it's fresh, it's relevant. Get your copy today.
Gold Rush in association with Kenya's migration to digital television.
The red singlets of Kenya are relentless foot soldiers. The greatest endurance nation of the modern Olympics has a stunning list of current gold medal prospects. Here's just some of them. But while the Kenyan men have been growing ever stronger, a new power has risen in athletics, the Kenyan women. Heading an imposing list is Vivian Cheriot. Cheriot was the Laureus Sportswoman of the Year for 2011, after winning the 5,000 metres and the 10,000 metres double at the World Championships.
Not imagine that I'm going to leave this life, but thank you so much because I know you are the one who chosen me today to be a winner. Thank you so much.
The nation on the equator showed the world its running power, with 6 gold medals in Beijing. They were followed by 7 more at the World Championships in Daegu. Even back then, they were already talking London.
I don't plan about London, but I hope it will come. You know, I cannot plan something which is ahead next year, but I hope my body will be the same next year, and I'm going to try my best because that is the main medal that I don't have in championships.
I'm looking forward to racing next year in London Olympic Games. That's my motivation to race again next year.
800-metre world champion and world record holder David Rudisha will be one of the faces of the London Games.
It's time to migrate your analog TV to the beautiful new world of digital television. Digital TV, a beautiful new world of entertainment.
Welcome back. Now, a hapless Rangers side were left dangling precariously on the relegation line after failing to stop Tusker FC in the only match of the Kenya Premier League this weekend. The Thika Road-based side comfortably beat Rangers 2-0 at the City Stadium.
Tusker cemented their hold of the Kenya Premier League after